Good morning, guys. Good morning. Over in Romania, the judging has been done for hours and hours at the Romania Muscle Fest. They're doing the finals right now. But this video is all about how great Andrew Jack looks, because I thought he had leveled up at the Olympia 4 weeks ago where he took third place. Didn't know if he could look any better than that, but he did this contest specifically to see what he was capable of. Could he push the conditioning a little bit further? And what do you think, guys? I think we're looking at quite possibly a 2026 Mr. Olympia right here. Looking fantastic, sharper, full, every inch the champion. I'm really pleased at how great he looks. I know that was only one shot. So here's another look here. Even they're asking, this is beyond the stage TV, asking, are we looking at the next Mr. Olympia? I will be reacting to the back poses once I see one, because I haven't seen one yet. I've been kind of rushing to get this done because it's already so late over there. They're already into the finals. Of course, they have to get through every division, but look at that. Andrew looking massive, incredible shape. So here is a comparison next with Juan Pradells, who, as I predicted, would be the only guy to really stand next to Andrew and give him any kind of challenge today. And of course, Juan has a long way to go. He's a work in progress, but he's holding his own. But let's look at Andrew, the width of that front lat spread. He gets a lot of crap for his side poses. Let's see if there's any improvement in the way he's hitting them. Of course, he still needs more hamstring, but they're not awful hamstrings. Now look at that. Here we're finally seeing the back, the condition of the back, the glutes, the hams. As tight or tighter than we saw at the Olympia 4 weeks ago. So this is 4 additional weeks of prep. He's really looking to find, him and Krizo looking to find that magic formula, that they can apply towards next year's Olympia. Well, actually, what am I saying? He'll be on stage again at the Arnold Classic in early March. So could he beat everyone that's going to the Arnold Classic, which will be most of the guys from the Olympia? I think he's quite capable of it. I mean, the guy was third place at the Olympia. Remember, Samson was third place in 2023 behind Derek and Hadi, and he ended up winning the next year. A lot of guys have jumped from third to first over the years. It's not a huge progression. So there he is, congratulating Juan for giving him a really good fight today. Having fun up there, because this was a fun show for Andrew. I'm not fun that he was continuing to prep and doing the diet and cardio, but fun because there's nobody that was going to beat him here, not even close. But this was a chance for him to just push the condition, see what he's capable of, have some fun doing it. Got any comments yet? I'm really pleased at him. Wonder what you guys think. Only 2 comments so far. Wake up, guys. What's up, Gregory? Let's not kid ourselves. Derek can't beat that. His back looks wild. I mean, his back wasn't great when he turned pro. It's been getting better. It's been getting thicker, more detailed. And I agree with Gregory Elise, IFBB Pro. I don't think Derek can beat that, honestly. I want to go to the really nice high-res pictures. These are on Jonathan Moreau's Instagram page. He's an ace photographer out there in Europe. Get some amazing shots. Oh, that was classic. Nothing against classic, but I want to look at, here's what we want to see. Okay, so here we're going to go pose for pose. It's not really a comparison. The only thing I think Pradells, Juan has on him is the legs, the quads. His quads are insane, but Andrew's aren't far behind at all. One thing someone keeps noting in the comments here is the left side, which is the right side on your screen of Juan, is smaller. I don't see it so much in the legs, but I do see it. I see it definitely in the arms. I see that arm on your left, which is his right arm, talking about Juan Pradells, is significantly bigger, especially the bicep. The bicep is coming up a lot higher and fuller. The tricep sweeps down lower. So, yeah, I don't know why I didn't notice that, but Andrew just dominating the shot, as you would expect. Most muscular. Juan is really holding his own in that most muscular. I'll give him that, because he's got some really crazy delts, but still, Andrew got him there. Condition, shape, Front lat spread. It's very hard to beat Andrew Jack in a front lat spread. He's as wide as a damn airplane. Looks like he's ready for takeoff there. I mean, someone 6'2" and about somewhere around 280, 290, whatever he is on stage. It's imposing. Side chest. I might actually give the side chest to Juan here. What do you guys think? Would you? Say, what's up? What's up, Ryan? Juan's quadrant saying some crazy. Andrew's keeping up with that. Yeah, does he need bigger legs? I think Andrew really just needs bigger hamstrings. I think his quads are just fine. I don't see the issue. Good catch, Juan Pradells, either one size, undersized. Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice it, but someone kept bringing it to my attention. I don't know if it was you in the comments on under the YouTube video. And now that I'm looking, I definitely saw it in that frontal bicep. Does quads get bigger, or is it just picture that larger arm is full of oil? Why wouldn't he put the oil in both arms? That doesn't make any sense. If you're going to put Synthol or whatever in your arms, yeah, Andrew is better conditioned here than the Olympia, which was his best condition by far already. So Andrew has surpassed his best look already. This destroys the look he's had the past couple seasons. And remember, his first pro season wasn't until 2022. Turned pro at the 2022 Arnold Amateur in Columbus. Went on to win the Texas Pro a few months later. Placed 7th, I believe, at his first Olympia. He was sick as a dog. I remember interviewing him at that Meet the Olympians, and he sounded awful. And the next year he got 5th, and the next year he got 5th. And then he got 3rd. So 22, 23, 24, 25. So 7th, 5th, 5th, 3rd is his progression. But look at that. Wow. Side shots. I actually like his side tricep because that tricep is just wild the way it pops out there in the back, the long head of the tricep. Of course, would I like to see more hamstring? Of course I would. Juan's weakness is symmetry from right to left. He's got some glaring imbalances. Yeah, honestly, I never noticed his left arm and legs and his right side undersized. I actually wonder if he was an accident. It could be like nerve damage. It's the best Samson. Better than Texas too. The best Andrew, I think you mean. This is. A lot of people were actually hoping that Samson would have jumped into this show as well for a rematch against Andrew, but I don't think Samson necessarily was avoiding Andrew, although I think Andrew would have beat him here for sure. That's my opinion. I think it's more a case of he was done. He was just burnt out from all these shows this year. It was time to finally take a break. He was hitting the side try better, straightening his arm more, check on drawing the back lat. Look at the lower lat. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah. Juan, God, his name. It does look like the lat inserts a little bit lower. The imbalance in the leg doesn't look as bad on him from the back. He does need to fill in this whole area here. See how you shouldn't have a big hollow gaping chasm, a black abyss right here. That should be filled in with muscle like it is with Andrew. You're supposed to have. This is actually the traps, all of this up here. That's the traps. But still, that should be thick and developed all the way through, not just at the top and at the bottom. So I don't know what the deal is with him. Side try. I love that shot. Andrew does an amazing ab and thigh. Juan looks pretty good too. But yeah, I could see that leg. First, you could see that leg's actually, the foot's angled away. So it's not a fair comparison. This leg is angled a little to the side. The one here on the left, the one on the right is more straight on. Andrew congratulating him. And they hit one of those fun poses. But yeah, man, I'm very impressed with Andrew. I mean, who isn't impressed with Andrew Jack? I honestly believe it's well within his capability to be Mr. Olympia next year. And even be way before that, 6-7 months before that, to be the Arnold Classic champ. I don't know. I keep hearing conflicting stories about who's going in the Arnold and who isn't. I don't think Samson beats this Andrew. No, I don't think so. Andrew looked a lot better in Prague than he had at the Olympia. No question. Way better. His fullness was mostly back. The condition was usually what it is. You know, his condition is never, I don't know if he's capable of great condition, Samson, but he looked a lot better at Prague. I still think this Andrew would have beat him. I mean, Martin beat him in Prague, and I think this Andrew would have beat that Martin. Going 26. Jimmy Jumanji. Yeah, he's referring to the fact that Fuad Abiad predicted Juan Pradells would be Mr. Olympia in 5 years. And if he can get his back thicker and that imbalance that I do see now in that arm, especially the arm on the left, you can't see it as much here. It's significantly smaller than the one on the right. Andrew looks incredible. Andrew's next level. Juan looks like he's not just a future, but compete with the present athletes in Mr. Olympia. Yeah, Double O. He's not there yet. I mean, getting a back, it doesn't happen immediately. It takes some time. It's not looking great for Samson. Samson without conditioning. Samson needs to get his conditioning together. Yeah, I mean, this is just such an impressive Andrew. This would be tough for anybody to beat. We're talking Hadi, Derek. They're going to have Samson's really getting the conditioning figured out. Take a look. There's Jose Manuel Munoz, who's probably going to be winning your classic physique title today. He is getting an early Olympia 2026 qualification. So I don't know if he'll compete next year's shows like the Pittsburgh, New York, things like that, as he did this year. But there's some other guys. I'm not dismissing them. I just don't know who most of these guys are. These other competitors. I know some of you guys are some good shots. That's the one I use for the thumbnail. That's his frontal bicep, Andrew. It's just astonishing. And Juan, yeah, I do see the difference there. Not so much in the legs. That leg on the left is a little bigger, but the difference in the arms is pretty noticeable. Yeah, I don't know who all these guys are, so forgive me, Europeans. I'm that ugly American, that ignorant American. But Jonathan Moreau does some incredible work with the photography. He also does videos, which I was hoping to see he had some videos up. Go to Beyond the Stage again and see what else they have going. Beyond the Stage TV usually has some really good stuff. This is just a real quick screen grab here. He's only going to hit one pose, I think. This is when he first came out for judging. When they do the individual presentation, I was hoping they would shoot the whole thing or film the whole thing, but they did not. Doggone it. Doggone it. And that's the same thing we saw before. Take a look at Juan. God. His name it's going to be the death of me, guys. So, yeah, see, when he's moving, the difference from right to left isn't as noticeable. You notice it more when it's not moving. You don't see it in that shot at all. He looks pretty symmetrical in that pose, the front lat. Obviously, side poses, he's going to hit his better side, which for him is the right arm. Right arm is definitely his better arm. I'm just curious if you see that. See, why'd they film the whole posing routine for the whole presentation for Juan, and they didn't do it for Andrew? I feel cheated. I mean, we want to see more Andrew. But I agree, this kid, he is a kid. He's 28 years old, I believe. Everyone keeps telling me. He's the future. He's the future. He's got so much potential. I don't want to say Mr. Olympia in 5 years. I don't want to go that far because you never know. There's a lot of people with great potential who never fully realize that potential. But he's definitely looking amazing, this young guy. And I think he has a very, very bright future. Go back to this while we take some comments. The judging. I mean, I didn't bother making a question in the thumbnail or the title. Is it Andrew or Juan? It's Andrew all day. And Andrew didn't really do this. He didn't do this for the money or the exposure or anything like that. He did it purely from what he told Ryan Terry in a video, just to see if he could push the conditioning a little further. 4 more weeks of prep, and he did. Josema never seen better condition. Josema is always shredded. I give it up to that guy. Samson bring off-season condition compared to this. Andrew is only missing a better side leg. Could that be brought up in the 5 months? Could it be? I mean, why not? How long does it take for a body part to improve? I think at 5 months, if he does the Arnold and he's done with that early March and then shuts it down, doesn't go on to Pittsburgh or anything like that, 5 months should be enough time to make improvement in any body part. If you're training really hard and you're on all the right PEDs and eating tons of really good food, I mean, if it's not going to happen in 5 months, how long is it going to take? I do see improvement in his hamstring over the past few years. It's still not where I want it to be because, I mean, that's like the missing puzzle piece for Andrew. If he had a crazy hamstring drop, I think he'd be Mr. Olympia right now. This in Jimmy Jumanji, great movie Jumanji. Not the newer one, the older one with Robin Williams, great movie. Yeah, I think he's fully capable of winning. We don't know if he is, but he could. Showing part of this contest. No, man, Samson, this is Instagram. I'm just showing Instagram. This isn't my no, they don't want you going taking parts of the pay-per-view. And especially when the pay-per-view is still going on. But thank you, appreciate that concern. But no, this is not YouTube. This is Instagram. This is Beyond the Stage TV. So if it's on Instagram, I'm fully free to use it. SEO abuse makes Samson look super soft, especially his arms. No definition in his arms. I don't know if Samson's got oil in his arms or Derek has oil. I don't know for sure. I mean, Samson's arms, I would like to see a lot more detail, separation, muscle maturity. You know, people accuse Andrew of having oil in his arms. I don't think he's got no oil in his arms. Someone in the comments is really upset that Andrew has high calves and high forearms. They think those two physique flaws should disqualify him from even being in the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia. And yes, he does have small forearms. His calves they're pretty well developed, but they are high. There's nothing he can do about that. When you have high insertions like he does, it is what it is. They're not going to get any lower. But is that enough? He got third in the world with these major glaring flaws that these couple guys seem so worried about. Like I said, this is an subjective sport. It's a matter of opinion, and some people will focus on one thing and it really bothers them, and other people could never even notice, or if they notice it, it doesn't bother them at all. Juan looked amazing last week, but Andrew's making him look tiny. I think in terms of size, Juan is holding his own. He's not getting outmassed much by Andrew. He's a very big, thick, young guy. But the overall shape, symmetry, lines, balance, Andrew's side pose was amazing. I like his side tricep a lot. I think he's got one of the best side triceps in the game, although I would like to see more hams. Best side try in the game right now is probably Neckzilla, Rubiel Mosquera. He pretty much owns that pose. The obsessed with oil talk is crazy. Yeah, I mean, if it was really, really obvious, if I saw a big lumpy arm or shoulder with not one line in it, I would call it out. I don't see that with Andrew. Kind of Martin's biceps, I find they lack peak. Well, lacking peak is just a genetic thing. I mean, if you go to a good exercise to do is just go to a local or regional contest. When they hit the front double bicep pose, a lineup of bodybuilders or classic physique guys, you'll notice some people have really good bicep peaks. Some people have zero bicep peaks. It's not that they didn't train them right or that the guys with no peaks have oil. It's just genetic. It's like, I don't have much of a bicep peak. My son, whose arms are half the size of mine, he has a much better bicep peak, which he gets from his mom. My wife has a genetic bicep peak. Her biceps are peaked. It's just the shape of the muscle. Are calves judged in comp? Not really. Not really. I mean, I've never seen a contest come down to two guys who were pretty much equal, but one had better calves, and that's why they won. I've never seen anybody win just because they had huge calves. I mean, Eric Fankhauser, Ben Pekulski, the late Mike Matarazzo, the late Paul DeMeo, Dorian Yates. These people all had, I shouldn't have mentioned Dorian because he was Mr. Olympia 6 times, but those other guys, none of them did extraordinarily well. Ben actually won a pro show or two, I think, but just having huge calves, it's great, but it doesn't seem to bother the judges if they don't. You still have striations and muscles full of oil. Yes. I mean, I've talked to a lot of these guys, and they say if the oil is injected deep enough, it's not going to affect the striations, which were, those are further up, closer to the surface of the muscle. So yeah, there's a better way to do it. I think Juan needs to get a bit tighter from the back. Oh yeah. I mean, I thought he was going to win last week in Poland, but unfortunately he didn't. I thought, who won that? Was it Krizo? No. Who won Poland? Come on, Ron. Can't remember who won a week ago. I think it was no, it wasn't. Who the hell won Poland, guys? Oh God, I can't remember. It was a week ago. You suck, Ron. And he was definitely sweeping the floor here. Oh, it's not even close. Chine Dusty Stevens. So his real name is Chinedu Obeka, Andrew Jack. For those who didn't know, the oil tank obsession comes from Ivan, I think, the boy who cried wolf. Well, I remember going back a few more years. It was Louis Marco who was really, he had a lot of funny jokes. The loyal is loyal oil. And I can't remember all the catchphrases, but Louis Marco was pretty hilarious. Andrew's side poses improved a lot too. Yeah, I mean, he was hearing so much criticism that he had to fix them. He had to get them better. Tomorrow I'll check Andrew. I'll meet him. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know where he's going. The oil in his muscles, I think, bullshit. I don't think he has oil in his muscles. I think that's just how great he looks. Bicep peaks relation having long or short biceps. Sergio Levy did not have great peaks, but had thick arms with long insertions. That's, well, I've actually, there are people who have had long biceps that have a peaked shape. It's not just the length of the muscle. I know that seems like a real quick analysis, but I've seen people with full biceps that insert close to the crook of the arm, you know, right where it meets the forearm, and they do have peaks. Andrew's abusing oil in his so you really think he's got all kinds of oil in his biceps? Shorter biceps have better peaks. Often they do, but it's not always the case. Some people have short biceps with no peaks, so they're screwed, you know, both ways. I've seen that too. Ghana, West Africa. That's where all the great genetics come from. Here come former IPB judge of the Andrew hate. Every great bodybuilder is going to have haters. If you don't have haters, you must not be that good. I always say, if you suck, nobody's going to talk about you. You'll never get criticized or insulted because nobody cares if you're bad. If you're good, people are going to be jealous or people are going to be questioning, especially if you're beating. If they're a fan of someone else who you beat, they will take it out on you. Do competitors inject glutes less in hopes of improved glutes? No, I think it's people inject where there are fewer nerve endings. There's only a few places you can inject that aren't excruciatingly painful. The glutes are the least painful. The upper outer quadrant. You know, if you drew the glutes into 4 sections, the upper outer quadrant on each side, very few nerve endings, so it's a close to painless place to inject. People go on the side delts. It's not too painful usually. Sometimes you will hit a nerve. For my TRT now, I go on the lats only because I don't want to have bruises. I don't want to have lumps in my shoulders for my TRT shots. This is legit TRT. I'm not doing cycles, but my glutes had so much scar tissue in them from thousands of injections. You have to rotate. If you're doing multiple shots like these guys, they can't just inject in one place. They have to rotate or else they'd have massive buildups of oil before the oil disperse. Andrea Presti, thank you. Thank you, Gaetano. Gaetano Vaccaro in Phoenix, or from Phoenix, I don't know. But yes, Andrea Presti, he did beat this guy right here, Juan Pradells, which I could have given that one to Juan. With all the flaws Derek has, he still went on to win the Olympia, so why the bash on Andrew? Yeah, you know what? When people have awesome genetics, which all these guys have awesome genetics, don't get it twisted. It's not like Andrew is the only one that's got freak genetics. Juan, he's got freak genetics. But when they see that really full round muscle, which not many people have, it's typically the people with African heritage have more roundness to the muscles. Then they get jealous and say it's all genetics. And they don't. I remember Flex Wheeler, because Flex Wheeler had some of the best genetics in history, aside from clavicle width. That's the only thing that he wasn't really gifted with was superior clavicle width, but he did okay, didn't he? He used to talk to me and saying, you know, when I win, people sort of blow it off like, well, you're such a genetic freak. You should win all the time anyway. And when he didn't win, people were like, ha, all those genetic gifts and you didn't win, you must be lazy, you bum. So yeah, when you have great genetics, you can't win. Derek and Aceto versus Andrew Aceto. Who's going to be Mr. O? Yeah, well, I mean, I give it up to Aceto is an amazing coach. He's been doing this for about 40 years, coaching. He's one of the most experienced coaches, probably the most experienced. He was doing it long before I ever heard of anybody being a coach for bodybuilders. If we were disqualifying guys for high calf inserts, we'd be doing Derek Sampson's arms, not separate. So, nobody's getting disqualified over calves. I mean, I can distinctly remember many men's physique pro shows I was at watching where the top 10, either only 1 or 2 in the top 10 guys had any calf development or none of them had any calf development. In men's physique, you would think calves would count because their thighs are covered, but their calves are not. So obviously the upper body, we know in men's physique, the board shorts division, it's judged But wouldn't you think the calves would be too? But again, I've seen stages with a bunch of guys, super high calves, no development. Juan could qualify points. No, they didn't. They don't have the point system for open bodybuilding anymore. I was mistaken when I made a video a few months ago. When they brought the point system back, it was only for some divisions, not all of them. They're not doing it for men's open. Men's open, you still have to win a show. You have to win any contest, any open bodybuilding contest, or be top 3 at the Olympia. Those are the only ways to qualify. So Juan needs to win a show. However, looking at the calendar, if he can hang on another 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today is the Big Man Pro Show in Alicante, Spain. He's from Spain. He would have 2 more weeks to get leaner and leaner. I'm pretty sure Juan would do that. I'm pretty sure he would do that. Interjack just says shorter muscle bellies are still very round, full. Yeah, I don't know why they think it's oil. It's because I guess they're so round and full, but I don't see any weird shapes to the muscle. I don't see any loss in definition or separation or striations or anything like that. So I don't get it. It's just genetics. Yeah. Old Pixie from Nigeria always had triceps like that. I remember him. The first time I saw him was in Larry Wheels videos on YouTube. So this is going back like 4 or 5 years. And I was just in awe of this guy's arms. Like, geez, this is one of the best gym bodies I've ever seen. Andrew's arms, even back then, they were clearly a strong point. It doesn't matter what they measure. They were huge, and they had this crazy round shape to the biceps and the triceps. Very, very impressive. Davey Mize, Bayou Muscle, how are you doing? Good morning. Andrew and Aceto finally figured out the riddle of his physique. The riddle of steel. That's what Conan had to figure out. He'll be the Mr. O next year. Only extreme, and he's so big and bubbly, but his forearm's tiny. Yeah, I mean, he's got high calf insertions and he's got high forearm insertions. So when you're looking at those forearms, there's no muscles. There are no muscle cells past that initial bulge that goes just a few inches beyond his elbow. There's nothing. And that's just genetics. You can't do that. I mean, the people that you've seen with the greatest calves and the greatest forearms, they just had long forearm muscles, so low insertions and low calf muscles. Like Flex Lewis. If you ever look at Flex Lewis's calves, or the late Mike Matarazzo, even Dorian's, their calves insert just a couple inches above the ankle, whereas someone like Andrew, there's a good 6 or 8 inches from the heel to where the calf inserts. Nothing you can do about that. And same thing with these guys with the massive forearms, like Lee Priest, the late Casey Vader, Mike Mentzer. Dorian had great forearms, but it's because they inserted really low, like all the way down to the wrist pretty much. When you have forearms that insert that low, you never need to do a wrist curl in your life. They're going to be massive just from gripping, from pulling and pushing everything. The forearm flexors and extensors, they get all the development they need. It's like Flex Lewis's forearms are probably 18 or 19 inches. I don't think he ever did one rep for them. Grandrick's calves, they insert fairly high. They're full and round. Yeah, he's developed what he can develop. You know, whatever's there, whatever muscle tissue is there, muscle cells, you can develop that to the max. But so if you have a short bicep, there's always going to be that gap. You know, for years they used to fill our head with lies in the magazine saying preacher curls will fill in that gap. If you have a gap right here, which most of us have at least a little gap, we don't have biceps that go all the way to the elbow. There's nothing you can do to ever fill in that gap. That's where the muscle inserts. And you see the same thing sometimes with all kinds of muscle groups. You even see it like with quads that insert a few inches above the knee sometimes. Yeah, I try to give some education while I'm doing these. Same goes for his tricep. That blue ring of fire. If we look at pictures from Milos competing, you'd say his biceps is genetic, but today we know he's shot. He didn't do that till the end, Renaud. He didn't do that till the end of his career. If you look at Milos's arms in the first few years as a pro, when he was a little smaller, he wasn't putting anything in his arms. He started doing the synthol toward the very end of his career, and he regrets it deeply. It's really his biggest regret because he almost died. He got an infection or a blood clot or something. He almost died from injecting his arms. So, and they did look ridiculous. How do you sleep with that much hate for others? You're crying over half naked men. Oh man. You tell SEO used by odd muscle shape and Andrew. I don't see that, Granddaddy them all. I don't see it. It's a unique shape. I don't see it because I've seen plenty of weird looking Very weird looking muscles. I'm going to go to something. I'm going to go to another picture. I'm tired of looking at this picture. See if Moreau has anything new up. Actually, AJ had some stuff up. AJ had some footage that I hadn't showed yet. This is AJ's iPhone footage from wherever he was sitting. He usually gets very good seats. All right. Stop crying. There's no crying in bodybuilding. You have no clue. You guys are arguing with each other. Yeah, he does have some of the, there's no denying this guy has some of the best genetics we've ever seen. He's phenomenal. If calves were a big thing, we would have lost so many guys with calves. Yeah, I mean, we've had Mr. Olympia winners with iffy calves. I mean, we've had some with great calves like Jay Cutler, Dorian, Flex Lewis, the 212 champ, had amazing calves. But we've also had guys like Ronnie's calves were never great. Dexter Jackson's calves weren't great. Sean Roden's calves weren't great. Brandon Curry's calves aren't great. Yeah, so calves, they're not that important, unfortunately. And some of you guys are going to get mad at me. Look, I wish calves were more important. My calves are bigger than my damn arms. My calves are a legit 18 and a half inches. My arms, they're not. Point system is vision. Yeah, point system is for classic physique, men's physique, bikini, wellness. I think that's it. I think that's the only ones. We can clearly see the oil in Andrew. That's a fact. It's not a fact. It's your, if everyone's not seeing it, then it's not a fact. It's a fact to you. It's your perception. If you check out Andrew from when he was training with Larry, the shape of his muscles looked the same, just smaller. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember seeing his arms 4 or 5 years ago in those videos and be like, damn, imagine if this guy started competing, shortly after he did start competing, and the rest is history, as they say. Can you explain what to look for in back pose? Cobra eyes. Cobra eyes? How does Andrew look in that regard? I'm not really sure what you mean by cobra eyes. I think you're talking about some, the way it looks when everything's defined and you can see that circular area between I'll go to it in a second. Trust me, you can't convince these people. Flex was a genetic freak. You ran into another genetic freak. Well, he ran into two guys. Remember, Flex was also runner-up to Dorian Yates in 1993. So Flex Wheeler went up against Dorian, who was the best of his era, and then he went up against Ronnie, who was the best of his era. So Flex got caught in the crossfire of some amazing talent. What do you think about Andrew pushing his elbows out? I don't like the way he hits his most muscular, honestly. I think the lower traps contribute the most to 3D back. Thick lats without traps. Well, what you're seeing in the middle of the back there, I don't know if you can see my cursor on the screen. What you're seeing there, that's the trapezius muscle is a big diamond-shaped muscle. It starts right under your neck, and it goes halfway down your back. So you have to have a really thickly developed trapezius muscle. It's all one muscle to have a complete back. So a lot of times when people are talking about the lats, like in the middle, the mid-back, they're really talking about the trapezius. Good Sunday for us, boys. Got some money. What's up? Calves matter. If you had two bios look exactly the same. Yes, that would, Black Patron, you're right. The only time that would really, really make a difference is if two guys were identical, and one had big calves and one didn't. But I've never seen it happen either. Not once. Just need to take care of the injections. I don't see the injections. Sex muscles, calves, and forearms. If they're good, you will look good in any type of clothing. Well, the calves you can't see if you've got pants on, but I know what you mean. Forearms, if you're wearing shorts, anything with short sleeves, you're going to see that. Got a shot, Larry Wills. Yeah, I don't know if Andrew ever would have competed, ever, if it hadn't been for that. What else? Let's see what else here. What else AJ shot there? It's the same footage you got there twice, AJ. Hosema. Well, let him show Hosema there. Hosema deserves a little bit of love. I know we're talking about Andrew, but the conditioning on Hosema is just next level. I'm super impressed. Juan looks phenomenal. So polished and dense to be so young. Very impressive and best young open bodybuilder. Yeah, that kid is going places. He's definitely just getting started. Teres major, minor. Yeah, thank you. I was going to say Rhomboid, teres major, minor. Let me go to some photos where you can see it better. Go to the Morial photo, Jonathan Morial. He had the best comparison shots from these guys. Where'd it go? Come on, Ron. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so one last time. Juan versus Andrew. It's not a close contest. I mean, Andrew's got this. He didn't do this for an Olympic qualification or the money. He's made a good amount of money already from the Olympia and his sponsors, things like that. He's going to get a nice check for this. I'm not sure what the prize is, but he did this as an experiment, him and Krizo, to see how much more condition he would be able to bring about in his physique with another 4 weeks of prep. And I think the answer is definitely a few percentage points more. People make fun of Derek's legs in the front compared to a hottie, but ignore the Andrew's similar detail with good outside quad separation. Yeah, I don't get the critiques of his quads. I think his quads are just fine, honestly. When have we ever seen identical physiques? Yeah, I've been covering this sport for 35 years almost. Yeah, 34. It'll be 35 years in January. Wow. And a fan of the sport for a few years prior to that. And I've never seen it come down to two guys that were identical, but one had better calves. Here we go. This guy hates Andrew. Andrew's arm, triceps, and last in remote look when he came on the scene. Pointy shoulders. He doesn't have pointy shoulders. Will you watch Romania Muscle Fest now? I can't show the live stream. Some of you guys, you're always talking about going to Twitch or Discord or something where you can steal the stream for free. But otherwise, you would have to go to the Wings of Strength website and buy the pay-per-view. But the show's almost over now. The show's almost over. They're already like an hour and a half into the finals over there in Romania. If Derek does Yarn, he'll be butchered by Martin or Andrew. And then again, Derek is his favorite water boy. No, it's not rigged. I don't believe it's rigged. And I think anybody can win this, Arnold. Krizo and a few IFBB pros. Yeah, Krizo has phenomenal delts with beautiful separation, striations. I don't believe he's ever injected his delts with anything but a little bit of gear. Damn, missed the whole live. It's okay, your mom's flip-flop. You can watch it on the rerun. For me, I wasn't going live with the stream anyway. I'm not following the stream. I'm just showing highlights that I'm finding on Instagram. Andrew won very easily, just much better not to discredit you on it. Oh yeah, I mean there are two different levels. I mean, give this kid Juan, give him a couple years. He'll be at the level that Andrew's at now. I don't have any doubt in my mind. Derek does your only butchered. Well, you already said that. I was going to put Andrew and Derek both lack quad detail. I saw this video and Andrew's sartorius muscles not going through, and I like it. Yeah, he's got great quad separation, Andrew. Look at that. And look at the cross striations right there in that outer quad head, the lateralis. That's pretty damn impressive. That's pretty freaky to me. Look at that. Tell me this guy lost in Lunsford guy won Mr. Olympia. Yes, I am telling you. That's exactly what happened. And just sound SciTech. No, I don't think. I mean, if you're a supplement company, why wouldn't you want Andrew jacked as your athlete? Come on, guys. I mean, if you can afford it, SciTech's got some bucks. Juan reminds me of Dallas McCarver. Yeah, I mean, he has gotten very big in a very short amount of time. I hope the best for him too. I don't want anybody having health problems. Certainly, I don't want anybody dying. Ron is Synthol sponsored. The glasses are oil-proof. No. My only sponsor is Blackstone Labs. Synthol doesn't sponsor me. Best hardcore gym left in Rhode Island? I don't know, but if you're in like Providence, or if you're in the northern part of Rhode Island, just cross the border and go into General Fitness in Fall River, Mass. That is the best hardcore gym within 20 miles of Providence, Warwick, those areas. It's called General Fitness in Fall River, Mass. Krizo's the only part of the shape that is not good is his waist is wide. So his front relaxed pose doesn't look good because he has no taper, and his front double bicep lacks taper. He doesn't have that V shape from sweeping lats and a narrow waist. If he had those, I think he'd be winning a lot more shows. If you really judge. Sorry, we know we have a different opinion. My views, this should be Mr. Rona, Derek. Oh no, I wouldn't believe, guys. I would not have been upset if Andrew Jack had won the Olympia. Hadi, Andrew, or Derek. I thought any three of them could have won. No, I can find a free stream. I hear these guys talking about Twitch and Discord, but I don't know anything about those platforms. I'm 56 years old. Juan needs to take care of his imbalances. I don't know if it's, I don't know what the deal is there. Shoulder. No, I don't see oil balls in his shoulder. I don't. No. I mean, they all have a little swelling. They all have a little swelling from injecting there so many times. There's scar tissue in there, but no, I don't see oil balls. Place in Johnson. Yeah, I live in south of Boston, so I don't get down to Rhode Island very often. Cranston. Okay, now you're talking about Rhode Island. The good Andrew shoulders the most muscular. You see the SEO. Okay, let me look. Did I go past it already? I see a lump there, which could be just from regular shots. That, to me, that's not screaming. It's not screaming SEO use. It's these guys all inject their delts. Like I said, they have to rotate their injection sites because there's only so many places you can put steroids into your body. Typically, it's going to be the glutes, the delts, the lats to some extent, but most guys, most guys put everything in their glutes and their delts. So yeah, there's going to be some lumps from that. Gottavito was a lot better. Improve the side shots. I agree. Make your eyeballs full. Didn't know you live in New York. I don't live in New York. I don't know who you're talking about. I live in south of Boston. I'm nowhere near New York. Andrew can win. I agree. No matter how much gear you take, the average person out of these guys' work ethic. It's not the. I don't want to say it's not the work ethic, but you have to have the genetics. If you don't have the genetics, the work ethic doesn't matter. The drugs don't matter if you don't have the genetics. You and I could take all the drugs in the world and work our asses off for 10, 20 years. We're not going to look like these two guys on the screen. You're not. You can get a lot bigger and you can get shredded, but this look to the muscles, most men are just not capable of ever looking like that no matter what they do. It's you just weren't born with the right parents. Stick the outside of my quads all the time. Yeah, I did that a couple times and the pain was excruciating. Shit injection. Well, you got to put all the shots somewhere because these guys take, I don't know, anywhere between 4 and 20 shots a week. It's got to go somewhere. Is Krizo better than Nick now? I don't think so. With lumps from recent injections. Some people are just, they always just want to cry SEO. Genetics trumps hard work. Yeah, when someone has awesome genetics, they don't have to work that hard. But at this level, the guys have great genetics and they work very hard and they're on all the best PEDs. 180 shoulders shaped the same and the most muscular. Yeah, I did that with my quad a few times and I'll never, ever do it again. The pain was excruciating for a couple of weeks. Sit down in my bed, relax some muscle to do it. It still didn't matter. Even when I was doing it that way, it didn't. You could still hit a nerve. There's just too many nerve endings there. Genetics are key. Genetics are so important. Just want to see if there's anything new posted. Maybe from the finals on Beyond the Stage TV. No, I don't see anything new. This gentleman, I believe he's a videographer, photographer as well. Let's see if he's got anything new. No, he does not. He's got the same, everyone's got the same clips up. So, okay. Good, Andrew, one more time. Yeah, I see what you're saying in the side delts. That's just from injections, guys. That's not from synthol. You wouldn't have striations in your delts. He doesn't have much oil. I don't believe he has much oil in his arms and shoulders. He's just got great genetics, trains very hard, and that's that. Geez. Do a few more and then I gotta go. Once you start injecting testosterone, you can't get off, you have health problems. No, the thing is if you use synthetic testosterone long enough, you shut down your body's own production. If you stay on it long enough, you'll shut it down permanently. If you're not on it that long, your own production will come back. But otherwise, you'll need to be on TRT for the rest of your life because your body's just never going to make it again. Sean Roden will go from couch potato to steak and potatoes. Doing TRT, you can only imagine. Well, they're not doing TRT. You're on TRT. You're just replacing your body's natural testosterone. These guys are going way, way beyond that, as they have to get this look. Can you do scanning to see where it's best to inject? I don't know, because you're looking for nerve endings, and I don't know if those even show up. Same idiot I have. How rigged are these pro shows? They're not. They're not. Thighs look thicker already, kind of scary. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. I actually have to run. Got to go do a private training session. I do a little bit of personal training, not too much. So thank you all for watching. So Andrew Jack very, very clearly on the way to winning this. Obviously, it wasn't a question of going whether he would win or lose. The finals are happening right now. I imagine within an hour or two, he's going to win this show and pick up a little bit more money. But more importantly, he found out, him and his coach, Krizo, found out just how much condition he was capable of beyond what we saw at the Olympia, where he took third place. And we could see that he does have better condition right now. He looks better now than he did a month ago. That's a good sneak preview of what he'll show us at the Arnold Classic. And then he has 5 months after that for a little bit of an off season to make some more improvements, hopefully to the hamstrings, and come back looking good enough to win the Mr. Olympia next year, which a lot of people thought he was good enough this year to win the Mr. Olympia. So maybe it'll happen for him in 2026. So that is it. Some videos to look forward to. I'm doing a power hour with Giles tomorrow. I did an interview with Natalia Coelho that's coming out. I'll probably put that out Tuesday. And I'm not looking at Larry Wheel's post. I got to go. And we're doing Meathead Podcast Wednesday night. So thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it. And I will talk to you all later. Have a great day.